Rough Night is a fairly self-explanatory movie. Scarlett Johansson plays a senator running for senator, but she's not
a senator yet. She's just running for senator.
Yes, she is running.
Yes.
She's a senator running to be senator and felt like she needed to run for senator a second time. No. She decides to let loose with all of her high school friends by having a bachelorette party in Miami. College friends. Do I need to start over? Probably. Rough Night, Scarlett Johansson is a senator. No. Starting over. Rough Night stars.
Rough Night scars Starlett Johansson.
Rough Night stars Scarlett Johansson, who is running for senator, and she's also getting married at the same time, so she decides to bring all of her old college friends back together for one big bachelorette reunion party in Miami. They decide to get a little off the rails, get some cocaine, and hire a stripper, but things start to take a turn when they accidentally kill the stripper and have to hide the body, thus ensuring that more mayhem ensues in the remaining half hour.
I thought this movie tries really hard to be The Hangover, just with a bunch of chicks. You got your Zach Galifianakis character, and she's basically the reason for all their troubles. She gets them the drugs, she kills the stripper. She is basically the havoc. She brings the havoc. You have your Bradley Cooper character, played by Scarlett Johansson, and then you don't really have an Ed Helms. You have three sort of one-note characters, played by Zoe Kravitz, Ilana Glazer, Kate McKinnon. And these three characters, they're sort of one note. They don't really have any flesh to them. And I think that hurts the movie. I think if they just had three girls that were really fleshed out, that could really play off each other, like The Hangover, then the movie would have really worked. There are moments that I laughed, but there just wasn't enough there.
It tries to throw all these jokes together, but it doesn't have a good basis on which to form upon. You know, part of the reason why The Hangover works so well is because you have a strong relationship between these three characters, and the way they all interact with each other is where the humor comes from. Here, because all the characters are one note, they don't seem to have any developed personalities, and it instead relies on these gimmicks about these characters or the gimmicks of their gender in order to make the humor come true. Well, now, we're not saying that all the humor's bad. Some of it is actually quite good. There are a couple of jokes in and here and there around like every 7 minutes or so that are really good. When they focus on the guys are extraordinarily funny. Oh my god, I have never seen a bachelor party that went that far south since I had my Dungeons & Dragons session last month. It was really funny and unfortunately extremely relatable.
So you see the guys and they're doing wine tasting, and it's just ridiculous because they really effeminate them. Meanwhile, the girls are partying and they're doing drugs. So it's kind of a role reversal, but you only have a few guys, and I think that makes it better, you know? The humor is a lot tighter, even though it's only a few dudes. It's kind of interesting seeing Jillian Bell and Ilana Glazer, because they're not really doing something special for this movie. They're sort of acting as their TV counterparts. The Ilana Glazer you see in the Comedy Central doing Broad City, that's the Ilana Glazer you're getting in this movie. You're not seeing anything outside of the ordinary for her.
Yeah, no real extended acting range on that one.
You know who did show a lot of range? Scarlett Johansson. ScarJo is as hot as ever. I'm always, straight on for ScarJo.
Yep, nothing says hot like Scarlett Johansson with her hair pulled back and a Hillary Clinton smile.
Why would you make the hottest person in this movie look like Hillary Clinton?
Some people get boners for change. One of the most important parts of a comedy movie is its plot. Are the events in the movie zany enough to keep it going? And I've got to say, just like when you're doing foreplay with your girlfriend, it takes a while to get it revving. The first half hour is dedicated to pure character exposition and getting everything set up. Most of the craziness starts happening at around the half-hour mark, and it still sort of trudges itself along, choosing to space between the extraordinary stripper dies events with the girl talk events. It sort of has a hard time with pacing until the second half, and then it gets its act together.
When it gets to that second half, it sort of turns into an episode of Seinfeld, where they don't really go anywhere. They're stuck at that Miami beach house, and they're trying to figure out what to do with the body, and just things keep going worse and worse for them as they try to get rid of it. But there's not much of, actual physical movement. It's all in a contained space.
Right.
Yeah.
The plot is somehow paced better with the guys' moments that happen in between. I actually thought between these two plots running together side by side, it's fairly well paced between those two. It's just that sometimes it drags itself a little bit. Again, until that juicy second half when things finally start going and things start revving up.
So overall, this movie's kind of meh for me. I liked it. I don't love it. It's about a 7 out of 10. It just passes. Actually, it'd be a 70% if this was an exam. For me, you can just go ahead and wait a few years and it'll be on Comedy Central. That's when you can check it out.
I'd agree with you. It's a mixed bag. Some parts of this movie are pretty good, and some parts of this movie could use a little work. I also give it a 7 out of 10. It does pass, and it's a good movie. Just saying that there are better comedies out there, and, better work has been seen.
Hi, baby boy. Sleep now.
Oh, God, no. Jesus, no.
Sadly, I haven't seen a comedy this year yet that's blown me away. They've all kind of been,
Oh, I've already had the perfect comedy of the year. My Sex Life. It's a joke from start to finish.
Dude, you gotta stop it.
Yeah,
you gotta slow down with the self-depreciating humor.